Let's do it.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, this is this week's episode of the Terrible Table Podcast. I got Mark Nettles in here.
How's it going?
And we're just going to sit here and chat and kind of chew the fat back and forth. You're a Shreveport native, right?
Born and raised.
Ugh.
70s, 80s Shreveport native.
You were born in the 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't ask your age. I think that's you don't do that with.
After you turn 40, it just doesn't matter.
I'm 42. I'll be 42 in 20-something days.
You stop caring about stuff. And how was Bert?
Oh, man, it was great. I can get back to my daughter later. To hell with her. No, we went and saw Bert last night at the Brookshire Brothers Arena. He put on a hell of a show. His two opening comics were good. I liked his opener versus his middle act. It was a chick. She was funny. I'm not, but she was a little much for me and my taste. I don't mind chick comics, but she was a little too busy in my opinion.
There's a lot of great female comics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
More now than there ever has been.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, comedy is definitely getting more and more accepted as like this new form of entertainment that's widely when I was growing up, it was Def Jam, HBO. Every now and then you'd see a comic
special,
on Johnny Carson,
right?
Or you'd see a stand-up come on. What was the name of that one? Star Search.
Oh yeah,
you remember Star Search? The judges 4 stars. Yeah, I remember liking that because you'd see people sing, and
that was my favorite part of that show.
What, singing or comedy?
No, the comics.
Did you watch comedy when you were growing up, or
all my life?
Have you ever seen that? Like, there was a ventriloquist back in the day that had a not the guy that's now that has jalapeno, not Jeff Dunham, no. But this guy had, man, I wish I could think of who that was. But I watched him when I was a kid, and he had like a punk rocker. There was a little cowboy. Oh man, he was great. I asked people that are around my age because I can't remember who the hell it was. But it was like an hour-long special ventriloquist.
I remember when the Comedy Channel or Comedy Central was just clips of stand-up, like for hours.
Yeah.
And then they started having a couple shows. I think somebody named Rachel Sweet. I can't even remember half of them. But then they morphed into a whole other thing. I guess got bought or something. But
well, my dad worked for Cablevision growing up, so we had all the channels, and I don't even remember when Comedy Central came about. Now that we're talking about it, it must have been when I was like maybe teen, like that middle teen years, and I had too much going on.
I'm a little older than you, so it's probably like because I remember coming home in high school after going out with friends, and I would watch it a little bit.
The Comedy Central, I don't remember when I started watching it.
It's just crazy. Like little short clips.
Yeah.
It would be great to have that today. I mean, they have that like YouTube, Sirius XM or something.
Yeah, I don't. I quit doing Sirius because that was all I listened to were the Comedy Channel.
Really?
I didn't listen to anything else.
Yeah, I listened to what was it, Deep Tracks, the classic rock and the comedy.
Yeah,
that was it.
So, but anyway, Bert was great. I actually have a story that I'll tell you about it. And maybe you can give me some insight as to why I got so damn emotional about it.
Okay.
So you see this painting over here?
The one with the
Two Bears, One Cave?
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's Tom Segura on the left, Bert Kreischer on the right. That's the Kool-Aid moment.
Oh, my God.
If you're familiar with the podcast. So somebody on Reddit painted it, and they posted it on Reddit, and I was like, hey, I want to buy that. And a couple of other people said that they wanted to buy it too, so the girl made 4 or 5 plus the original. She wouldn't sell me the original. I think somebody had already bought it or she was keeping it for herself. But
she'd probably keep that one.
I couldn't get the original, so I got a print. When Buns came here in April of last year, I was going to try to get it signed, but I just couldn't make that happen. Well, we got tickets for Kreischer's show, and I knew I was on a mission. I needed to get that. So yesterday morning I had a soccer game with my son at 8. We went to soccer at 9. We drove over, and the big Bert Kreischer bus that has his picture on it was there.
Okay.
So we waited, and I ended up talking to security guard, and he was like, I don't even think he's here, man. And I was like, all right. So I brought my son home, and I came back, and I hung out for, I don't know, maybe another 45 minutes to an hour, and the security ran me off. They told me I had to leave. And it was whatever, but it is what it is. Well, come home. We're getting ready. We got to take my kids and drop them off, blah, blah, blah. And we're getting ready, and I see on his Instagram that he's up there working out. And I have to go pick up a cookie cake for my daughter's birthday in North Bossier. So I tell my daughter, get in the car. We're going now instead of 30 minutes from now.
Let's do it.
So we drive over there, and he's not there. He's I don't know if he's there or not. He doesn't come out. We sit for about 45 minutes, and then it's like, all right, we got to leave. We got to go get your cake, and we got to get, So I get home, and son of a bitch is at Ford Park watching a disc golf tournament that a friend of mine is playing in.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, you know what I mean? So we go to the show. Great time. Great show. I can't say enough about it. Had a really, really, really good time. Seeing the Machine Story live, I've heard that Machine Story since well before he says he put it out. Like, I heard it back on Bob and Tom back in like 2013, 14.
I don't
when
know
it was
if I know
just
the Machine Story.
You don't what?
I know, it's like
Are you
blasphemy.
Are you kidding?
I knew the Kool-Aid thing.
Okay, so do you not know Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's Bert's Stairway to Heaven. That's how he got famous. The story where he gets involved with the Russian mafia. Do you not know that story?
I used to watch him on that stupid show. He rode roller coasters.
Hurt Bert or Bert the Conqueror.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And then I've watched some of. I don't think I've watched one of his specials all the way through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like that with some comics where I'm a fan of them, like on podcast conversations.
Right.
And I'm not a fan of their comedy.
No,
But-
I like his comedy.
But I do
too.
like his comedy. But if you've never heard the Machine Story, like I highly recommend you checking that out, because that's what got him the notoriety that he has today. They're making a damn movie out of it.
Unless I was just like really buzzed when I watched it or something.
Well, if you watch it, you might recognize it and be like, "Oh yeah," but basically he got involved with the Russian mafia on a trip to Russia, and I'll leave it at that. I can't, I can't do it any justice. But he told the Machine Story live. It was great to get to see that. Well, after the show, there were so many people, and traffic was just locked up. My wife was like, "Look, get your picture. Let's walk over there and see if we can get this thing autographed." So we walk back down there, 45 minutes or so. Don't see him. That's that. My wife's ready to go. We got to pick up the kids.
Sure.
All right, let's go. So we leave. We come home, and I have to go get out and get a card from my daughter for her birthday. That's the last thing I got to do. It's like 11:15. Walgreens closes at midnight. I jump up there, and I was not going to do it, but I ended up like, take your fat ass back up there and see if you can get this thing autographed. Drove back up there.
So that's what, like
11
six efforts
at
this point?
Well, let's see.
Six
me and my
separate
son,
efforts or something?
me and my daughter, me and my wife.
It's a dedication.
And then me going back in. That's 5 attempts.
Okay,
yeah, 5 attempts, yeah.
You have like one bullet left.
Yeah, that's right. This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
I got a 5 shooter, and this is it, because he's leaving and going to another state. You know what I'm saying? And I won't see him until next time he comes back in town, or whatever. So I drive back up there, and I pull up in the parking lot. It's about 1:45 midnight, and I pull up. There's nobody outside. The bus is open. The door to the bus is open. There's still some chairs sitting out in front of it. And I'm
Bert.
no. I'm on the other side of the gate. Like, I can't get into the parking lot. Are you familiar with the Brookshire Brothers Arena?
Yeah. But I've never been up there after a show stalking the.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, there's a gated area in the back that they pull all the buses and stuff, and you can't it's all locked up or whatever.
Okay.
So I was sitting there, and then I started to watch Tommy Boy, and 2 people ended up emerging from that area over there by the bus, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I got up and walked over there. Well, if you're familiar with anything Bert Kreischer, I think the guy's name is Mans, is like his right hand man or whatever. I think that's the guy's name.
Okay.
He's standing there.
Nice. There.
And I'm like, "Hey man, look, I've got this picture. I'm hoping I can get an autograph. If I need to leave, just tell me to leave. I'm still a fan of Bert. I'm not going to take it personally. I'll try again somewhere else." Like, it's almost midnight. He got done performing. I know that the furthest thing from his mind is probably trying to deal with a fan, especially when you stayed in the building till midnight waiting for everybody to leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
there's still one here.
Yeah, fortunately, I was the only one, and I said, "Look, if I need to leave, blah, blah, blah." And the guy's like, and he looks, and Bert's right there. He's like, "You can ask him yourself." And I turn, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, brother?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit." And I explain, "Hey, this is blah, blah, blah." I ended up handing it to him over the fence, And he signed it. He was like, "Oh, this is neat." And he looks at his buddy. He's like, "We got the best fans because the person who painted that's awesome." You know what I mean?
Is that his
the silver?
Is that his signature in the frame? The little white?
No, that's the person who painted it. That's that's the note that they sent to me. With the thing, like, thanks. They're
cool.
They're YMH fans, so it's like, thanks, mommy, for buying it. Keep your jeans high and tight. Keep feathering it, brother. Blah blah blah. if you're YMH, it's all inside jokes on that podcast.
Yeah.
But he signed it and handed it back to me, and I told him I was straight up. I was like, man, I could sit here and fan out on you all night long, but great show. Thank you for the great night out. You're awesome. Big fan. And we dapped it up through the fence, and I went on about my merry way. Now, what I wasn't expecting was when I sat down in my car, I started bawling. I started crying my eyes out until I got home from the Brookshire Arena. I was just overwhelmed and in tears, and I couldn't figure out why.
You needed that, man. You needed that.
And that's what my wife and I were talking about it this morning, and I was like, I wonder if it was because I needed that win.
You did.
And
I don't know what's been going on, but
well, I mean, I don't. It's not like I got a bad life or nothing,
But there's how long you been watching comedy since you were really young?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like some
albums.
Yeah. I mean, I got records.
Yeah.
I got Carlin's, Steve Martin record stuff. It's like, I feel bad. It's like, hope Bert never watches this. I mean, I hope he does.
Yeah.
Maybe he will. But I'm like, I'm sorry. But damn, yeah, that's like a inner child healing shit right there.
Yeah, no, it was. I was giddy as a schoolgirl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I came home, and my wife was like, "Oh my," she was happy for me.
And I'm very happy for you that you had that experience.
Well, and I've been thinking about it all day, and I honestly think that the reason why I got so emotional is I have battled recently of like with this podcast, with getting up on stage and doing stand up here locally. I'm just an open micer. I'm not anybody when it comes to comedy. Right. And I barely even label myself an open micer, to be totally honest. But I've been fighting like what do I want to do? I used to be a lot slimmer. I want to start working out, and I want to quit smoking cigarettes, but I don't do. And the more I thought about it, and the more I really looked at me and that situation, I got up early. I went after it.
Yeah.
I failed. I went after it. I failed. I went after it. I failed. I went after it. I didn't stop.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in a long time that I ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better.
Yeah,
it's the first time I've done that in a long time, and I think that's where that overwhelming emotion came from. Is it wasn't the win that I got him to sign; it was the win that I failed and continued and failed and continued
Absolutely.
and failed and continued.
Absolutely.
And it had nothing to do with him; it had everything to do with me, and letting me know that, hey, get your fat ass out there. Like I told myself at Walgreens, get your fat ass out there. Continue doing the pod. Ask people, get your fat ass out there. And I think that's where all that emotion came from last night.
Yeah, man. That's I'm really happy you had that catharsis, they call it, I'll give you my favorite quote, because I throw quotes out left and right.
I love them
all the time.
Let me have them. Everything you want lies on the other side of. I got one tattooed on.
This one's actually from a Herman Hesse short story, and I kind of tend to misremember quotes, and I like the way I remember them better.
Right.
And so this is my
Not your
better
quote.
version.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's his, but it's tears are the melting ice of the soul. All angels are close to one who weeps. So
say that one more time.
So tears are the melting ice of the soul. All angels are close to one who weeps. It's beautiful. Isn't it?
It is beautiful.
Yeah. And then Mr. Rogers, one of my heroes.
Would you be mine?
Oh, he's amazing.
Won't you be my neighbor?
He said, when you're first born, what is everybody waiting to hear? They're waiting to hear you cry, because that means you're alive. Think on that one.
I like that a lot.
Either one of those are mine.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I say them all the time. Though,
wow.
When I talk about crying. One time I was driving And I said those quotes. There's a guy, because this is kind of revealing, but I have this really crappy Nissan Versa, and the window regulator on the driver's side's broken.
Right.
And I'm just kind of a person who just rolls with it. You know, if the ice maker in the fridge door breaks, well, I just open it and get ice. You know? And I'm good. And most normal people get that shit repaired, but and I will eventually. But you know,
I don't have to now.
Yeah, and then like every month, my daughter's car or my other daughter needs a repair. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then it just becomes part of the car's personality. But anyway, so I drive around with my window down.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm strategic about weather and stuff. But I was coming out of the Target parking lot, and there's this African American gentleman like asking for money. You know, right
wasn't playing a violin, was he?
No, but he. I had like some change, and he's like standing right there, getting some change, and he's like, "Man, I'm just trying to get back to Arkansas. My mom." I'm down here because my mom just died of COVID in the hospital. And he's like, I'm just trying to get back home. I don't know what to do. I was like, man, that really sucks. Hate to hear about that. And he's like, man, I've been crying and crying. I was like, boom. And I busted those quotes out. And he's like, man, I really appreciate you.
I really appreciate you.
It's like a genuine vibe. I don't think that was his rap.
Yeah, you don't think it was right.
You know, like you got to have a good rap and panhandling. But I don't know. I believe what he was saying, but it was like felt good, and he felt a little better. I don't know, but those are good quotes.
Those are great quotes. You know, and you talk about homeless. You know, dealing with homeless people like that. You know, I personally, I used to, when I was a kid, like we would see somebody that was homeless, and I would like let's stop and get them something to eat.
Right.
And then one time, I mean, I was probably 12 or 13. One time, guys like, fuck you, I want money.
Yeah.
It ruined it for me.
Oh, yeah.
Not to the point where I didn't have compassion for them, but it's just I didn't do anything for them.
Yeah, they're being a dick.
And then I had another guy on Christmas, a local. I'm sure if I had a picture of him, you'd be like, oh, I know that guy.
Oh, okay.
I hate this dude. I hate this dude more than I can even explain. But he caught me at the gas station and was like, hey, man, it was Christmas Day. I was going to my girlfriend's house. Girl I was dating at the time was going to her house. And we were doing Christmas with her mom. And I'd stopped to get gas, a couple other things, whatever. And he's like,
does he have a mustache?
Yeah. Looks like Luigi. Looks like a painter.
You're talking about. I've seen him, yeah.
Yeah. So he's on Facebook. People talk a lot of shit on him on Facebook. Yeah. I've thought about running him over a couple times, but you know, I didn't see him when I had the truck with the grill guard on it. Anyway, he asked me. He was like, "Man, it's Christmas. I'm trying to get over to see my son. Can you give me a ride?" And I'm like, "Man, you know what? I can do that."
Right.
You know, like it's Christmas. It's cold. I can do that. It's just over here on Boulevard. I can do that. So we get over there, and he like goes to get out of the truck. He's like, "Man, can I bum a couple cigarettes?" And I was like, I can do that. I give him like three. Yeah. I give him like 3 or 4 of them. He gets out of the truck, closes the door. He's like, man, you think I told him I'd give him $20 for Christmas? And I was like, you're pushing your luck now, buddy. Have a good one. And I went to drive off, and he just turned around and walked off. He wasn't going to the house I was dropping him off.
He didn't even live there.
No. He just like, oh, here it is, you know. And I saw it, and I was enraged. And I threw the truck in reverse, backed up, ended up cutting him off in the driveway that he was about to walk into, got out, took the cigarettes out of his hand, broke them, threw them at him like, I'll fuck you. You know, I was mad. I didn't hit him or nothing like that, but I was in his face. I was talking shit, and I was like, on Christmas, I was so mad. And then from then on, for years, when somebody asked me for money, it'd be like, fuck you.
He ruined it.
Or I'd throw handfuls of change at people. Here, eat a dick. Yeah. I was so rude. Ooh. I was bad rude. I was.
You're lucky you didn't get beat up. I just watched the documentary on Netflix about the hitchhiker with the hatchet.
Oh yeah, bow. Yeah,
Have you heard this documentary?
Yeah, I have. My wife watched it. Yeah, she loved it. I just
watched it today.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but my wife watched it, and I know of it.
I don't remember that guy. I don't know.
I only remember it whenever I watched the playback
crazy story
of him doing that interview where he was like, "I was like, smash. That's right. That's what it was."
I was like, "What is this guy?"
So, but for years, I was hardcore. Yeah. Go fuck yourself to homeless people. Like,
yeah,
bad. I had a guy one day ask me for money. I threw change at him and told him to go fuck himself. I just happened to have change in my pocket. I was like, here, go fuck yourself. Walked inside, and I'm going up to the register, and he's over there at the hot dogs counting what I just threw at him, like having trouble adding it up, and it broke my fucking heart that I just treated a human being like that was hungry.
That was a delayed Christmas miracle.
Bro, you ain't just whistling Dixie, man. I ended up going over and like, hey, man, get whatever you want. Get something to drink. Get a couple things. I got you. I am so sorry. Like, and since then, I don't really give people money. I'll feed you.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I am way softer than I used to be when it comes. I'm more of a no, thank you. I don't have anything. Sorry. Good luck.
Right. Yeah. It depends on where I am.
It depends on if I have money.
What
or
I
not.
have.
Yeah. If I have anything,
always have cash.
Yeah. I very rarely have cash.
But I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Have you forgiven yourself?
For that, I forgave myself for throwing change at that man.
Yeah.
The minute like I felt terrible, and I corrected the wrong.
Right.
And I just hadn't, like, for me, it's one of those things where it's not about what you've done; it's about what you do next.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was a piece of shit, and I figured it out that what my actions were. I knew it, but it just wasn't brought to light like that. And then it was thrown in my face that, hey, you're a terrible person. Do something about it. So I did. And then since then, I haven't done that. So, yeah, I have forgiven myself, and I have corrected the wrong, and I have gone, the right direction. I'm not going to – I'll tell somebody no thank you before I tell them to eat shit and die.
Right. And I don't know. There's no black or white answer to any of those situations. Sometimes it feels right. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people are just scamming you, going straight to,
there's a bit that I've tried to work on that I haven't really, pursued deeply, but it's why is it that these people at the gas stations always need just $2 to get
right.
to Dallas? Wherever your vehicle is that can miraculously make it from Shreveport to Dallas on $2 worth of petrol, you need to be selling that technology, and you won't be walking anywhere ever again, sir. Like, what's up with that? Why does your car only need $2 in gas to make it to Missouri, to see your grandma who's dying? Like, what are we talking about here?
I know the few times I've been in Austin going out and stuff, they'll come up and go, can I have $3.38? Or it's like very specific. And I'm like, okay, is this like a trend down here? Because it sounds more realistic.
Yeah. What are you buying, including tax? What is this?
I thought that was a creative rap the first time. But then I've heard it from like 5 or 6 other panhandlers.
Just a very specific amount. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this
isn't
even original anymore.
I wonder why why would you do that? Like very specific, just to throw somebody off? Because I guess that's no. I got $4. Is that what?
I like the ones who are buskers, but they're usually not homeless. But I like the buskers. Like, show me.
Wait a minute.
Play a harmonica.
Time out. I heard that's what. I was about to say. I heard this word the other day. My mom.
That means
learned
playing
that
in the street.
Yes. Okay.
Street performing.
Yeah. I learned that. That's crazy because I learned that word like Thursday.
Really?
Yeah. I've never heard that word before, and I've heard it 3 or 4 times since then.
Okay.
It's almost like the first time I heard and learned what a pescatarian was.
Yeah.
Like the next day, there's a van downtown that says like pescatarian. There's advertisement, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where the hell is this word been?
Strange like that.
Is that kind of the same on the same wavelength of like I buy a Suburban, now all I see are Suburbans on the road?
They call that the recency bias, maybe, or the red car phenomenon. But
red car phenomenon being you buy a red car, all you see is red cars. Okay, yeah. Nice.
I don't know. I believe in something called synchronicity.
What does that mean? Well, I know what synchronicity means, but
the way I like it is Carl Jung. I don't know if you ever heard of Carl.
I have heard the name before.
He's he was a contemporary of Sigmund Freud.
Okay.
In the early days of psychology, but he branched off and did his own thing, and he's like really out there. But if you can take the time to read and understand him, he is just tapped in to the universe on another level or something. I don't know, but he
Carl Jung.
Carl Jung. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you did that because I would have never found him. I'd have been looking at a baseball player from '80s.
Carl Gustav Jung. But he just talked about these meaningful coincidences and that they don't have to just be coincidences. And sometimes if you kind of pay attention a little bit, it's like it'll show you the universe or the collective unconscious, as he calls it. Will show you these little like connections. And to me, the way I connect them is they usually associate with a person or something like that. And if you get something like that, that's really weird. Then I'm like, maybe whatever you're doing or in that moment or who it associates with, it's like keep going with that. Like it's like a nudge going, keep going. Not like a bad omen or anything to worry about.
Almost like I was being told to become a pescatarian. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't
Keep
know.
going, eat fish, because that's what that means, right? You only eat fish, right?
Yeah.
Pescatarian, yeah.
I'm thinking of one. I got a buddy who I went to grad school with, and he went on, got his PhD in psychologist now, but he bought some land in Indiana where he's from, and we don't talk all the time, but he called me on a Saturday as a few years ago, and he's like, what are you doing? And so I'm the kind of person, I will literally tell you what I'm doing. I was like, well, I'm working on some devil's walking stick because my dad had cut this scrub tree out of the woods. Have you ever heard? It's like this.
Those are the ones that almost look like vines?
It's like so thorny, like just to carry like a little tree of it, you have to be like, ugh.
What'd you call it?
Devil's walking stick. But the bark scrapes off real easy, and then they make real good hiking sticks. And so I was playing around with that, and he's like, that's so weird, because earlier I just got off the phone with a guy I bought my land from, and he's like, I know there's a stand of Devil's walking stick back up on the back third, and he's like, I've never heard of this in my life, and now I've heard it. Two people have said it to me today, like within 3 hours or something.
So that's, it's looking, I forgot, I got to close this. That's a devil's walking stick right there.
That thing. So how do you carry that around with gloves?
Yeah, I was about to say very damn carefully. You wrap it with cardboard.
Yeah, it's like 2 fingers or something.
Oh wow!
But that bark strips off real easy, and then the heart of it is like popular for hiking sticks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is really good. Yeah, I would not.
But it's also like, okay, well, this makes sense. Because my buddy Aaron is somebody I hope I stay in touch with forever, so.
I'm trying to see if I can see.
He's out there doing good stuff.
One carved. Here's oh wow, look at that shit.
Oh yeah, wow,
that's
$620. That is insane. I don't do anything like that.
You just carve them down, like just get them down to bark or bark, just down to wood.
Yeah, I like playing around with driftwood and just shaping it down into nature's art. But I don't like. Carving, that's pretty amazing.
Are you a rock stack kind of guy when you go out in the woods?
Dude, I totally stack rocks. You got me so figured out.
Yeah,
no, man, I stack rocks in my office.
Oh, really?
My house.
Yeah. Well,
when I go on vacation, I bring rocks back.
So
I can't do with the Gravity Glue is this website. It inspired me. This guy is amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some really crazy ones.
Like insane.
When my daughter was little, she liked to collect rocks. And we were camping one time. When we used to go camping, we used to see them all the time. And I used to fuck with my kids. Oh my God, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Or chupacabra. And they're like, what? And I'm like, we gotta go.
Yeah,
and just play it. And they'd see a stack of rocks and turn ghost white for a while there. But we, they got me good. We were on a camping trip one time, and we're sitting there, and my daughter, I'm carrying a backpack. It's just a day hike, with family, so nobody's carrying anything but really me.
Yeah.
I'm carrying water and snacks and, change of socks, just first aid kit, stuff like that. Sure. Nothing really carried. And my daughter keeps bringing these rocks to me. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 15. I'm up to 30. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You carried a giant
I've got, 25 pounds worth of rock. I've got a bag that weighed 12 pounds whenever we started this. Now I'm carrying a 40-pound sack. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you continuously bringing me rocks? And I look over, and my wife and the couple that we were with, it's, friends, whatever, they're all over there just they're giving her rocks and telling her, go give this one to your dad. And they just progressively progressively got bigger and bigger, and so they're over there fucking. And I ended up carrying all these fucking rocks back.
Did you show them? Did you you brought them all?
Yeah, I brought them, every fucking one of them.
Job,
yeah, no. Well, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me that they were like really fucking with me until we got back. Like I saw them laughing and everything, and I was like, "Oh, that's what this one is," and kind of tossed it. You know what I mean? I was like, "Yeah, I'm not falling for that shit," not knowing that the other 49 rocks that I had in my backpack were all of them motherfuckers. Here, take this to your dad. He'll carry it.
That's hilarious.
You fucking assholes.
But you
I
nailed it, man.
I got a tote full of rocks back there.
You're a rock toting fool.
Yeah. Man. Oh hell yeah. I mean, we've got a rock that looks like a Nike Air Jordan.
Okay.
I have one that looks like the state of Louisiana. I actually have one that I bought. It's a rock carved into a turtle. Native American woman was selling them when we went to the Grand Canyon, we were at the Grand Canyon when I bought that, or right outside the Grand Canyon.
Rocks are cool.
Rocks are fucking cool as shit.
I love rocks,
but they weigh a lot, and when you don't need to carry them because you're not carrying gravel, you don't need to carry them. But those bastards had me 2.5 miles carrying these fucking shut, just making noise as I walked. Fucking shitheads.
So you probably could find a rhythm to get your going.
Yeah.
Super prepared.
I super prepared. Like when the first time we went hiking after it had been years since we had done it. I didn't weigh my pack before I left, which was rookie mistake. And I went and did, half of the Eagle Rock Loop and destroyed my feet.
Yeah.
And when I got home, minus all the shit that I was like, I'm not carrying this weight anymore. I'm tired of it. That I burnt on trail, threw away on trail, ate on trail. So minus food, water, and then a few things that I just was like, I don't need this. I'm not packing this. This is going to stay here for somebody else. 62 pounds.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was way overweight. Man, I started looking at the shit that I had.
Hurts your shoulders a little bit.
Oh man, it makes my knees hurt talking to you.
Yeah.
But man, I got to looking at it, and I had like 4 first aid kits. I had like 7 flashlights. I had water purification.
You can never have too many flashlights.
Well,
that's like a thing.
Yeah, I give you that, but
that's one area I'm getting.
Yeah, well, we didn't die, so I didn't end up needing them. But man, I had way too much, like 4 days worth of clothes. Like, no, man.
Yeah.
And now I take one change of clothes, and when we would go, when you get to your campsite, you set your camp up, walk into the water, take a bath, wash your clothes, put your dry clean clothes on.
Yeah.
Hang those up, and those are for tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it, I mean, I know I could pull that off. I've never done it.
Oh, it's great.
Like mentally.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people that I've talked to that, have tried hiking and stuff. That is the biggest thing to get over is the mental break of it. Of like, man, I want to just go home.
Yeah.
I don't want to finish this.
Yeah.
Well, man, again, I appreciate you coming, and thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll do it again. And you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you want to come on, email me, hismancaveproductions@gmail.com. And we'll sit down and do this exact same thing here. Ain't nothing going on but what we got going on.
That's right.
So, but I appreciate it, and we'll talk again.
All right, man.
All right, man.